Etude number 2 provides an opportunity for us to work on several issues, mostly technical, but also a musical one as well. From the very first few notes, we need to be concerned of how do we cross with the most legato feel, and for that, I suggest that we cross the strings with the entire arm, not with the wrist or the fingers. Once we get to the highest note, I think we should keep the right elbow level high over the A string as to minimize afterwards the next few string crossings. The first few lines, which I'll play now, will create right away in my mind an opportunity that is musical in nature, that is to slightly alter the timing, the length of certain notes, or by slightly elongating some and rushing other ones, to make it interesting, natural, flowing, as opposed to mechanical. As I reach bar number 9, I will add to my focus the issue of shifting, specifically shifting as light as possible, as slow as possible, so I can maintain the mood of this lyrical etude. And as I arrive to the high notes, I will be focusing on arriving with a very organized hand frame where I have already predetermined the first couple of intervals within each position. It's not useful, I think, to think note by note as we arrive to the high notes. It's much more important to develop the kind of left-hand discipline where we have a good preset hand frame. As we arrive to bar 13 and the next bar as well, we can explore the possibility of an elastic hand that can be developed through the usage of extensions and compressions. This is a good example where Popper is trying to help us develop a very elastic hand if we care to use extensions as opposed to always shifting. Bar 17 provides another glimpse of what Popper does in many of his etudes. That is, we can use certain passages to develop a more beautiful expressive intonation by slightly lowering the flats, slightly raising the sharps, and that kind of intonation can be used successfully in any of the cello solo repertoire. The next few notes of bar 19 are very simple, but it's an example of how beneficial it is to keep fingers down when we play these broken chords to get more of a ringing tone, as opposed to lifting the fingers too soon after we finish playing with each one. Bar 25 and 26 provide another glimpse on how important the left elbow is for the general comfort of the left hand. When I go up with this pattern, I will take the left elbow with me, so I always feel equally comfortable in a low or high position. To the very end of the etude, there is not much new to discuss. I will continually, until the very last bar, think of how can I make this etude interesting for me as I practice or for others who listen.